During the heights of the Vietnam War, the mighty US Army with billions in funding were rowed away by an organization of elite men dressed in black jumpsuits and wooden flip-flops, known as the Vietcong. In today's battle, we recreate the Vietnam War by having 20,000 US Marines face off against a horde of 40,000 Vietcong to see which side is the true king of the jungle. Alright boys and girls, 40,000 Viet Cong against 20,000 US Marines. Let's get into it. The armies are pretty accurate for both sides, so I tried to stick with what they had during the Vietnam era. The helicopters aren't exactly accurate, they didn't have any Hueys, but they did have some type of Cobra, so I did try to put that in there. You're gonna see that the Cobras are attacking and they're absolutely wrecking this Sankey. And also the Viet Cong, again, there is no Vietnam faction or even Chinese faction, so I did have to use Soviet troops, but in essence they have this very similar weapons to what the Viet Cong had. And these Cobras are absolutely wrecking the Viet Cong right now. You're gonna see the US, I use the military police because they really are most similar to the Vietnam era troops. So by that I mean that they're equipped with M60s and M16s, and that's pretty much Vietnam era kit. Over here we have the Blackhawks coming over here trying to unload some troops. We didn't have Huey, so we had to use Blackhawks, so bear in mind that. But functionally, they're kind of the same thing. And you see that the troops are moving up into the forest line over here. Look at this huge wave of Viet Cong. Again, the Viet Cong would have traveled more by foot, less by truck, but that's just something, limitation of the game. We got this nice engagement over here. The rifles are putting some fire on them. We got a huge bombardment coming in. Oh my god, American air power for the win. That was awful. Awful for the Viet Cong. There was another strike over here that probably took out many. Cobras are going to be laying down some lead over here. And the US has basically established a front line. So this front line is going to be pretty good for them in terms of just holding back the enemy. Cobras are over here. Looks like they just advanced a little bit too far. They got greedy. And now when they get stunned, they're not going to be able to do much. Another Cobra over here, along with some more helicopter rifles. You're going to see the Viet Cong are trying to push up a little bit, trying to scout me out, see where I am. Over here, we have a huge situation. The rifles are holding out heroically. Might I just say, very heroically. Let's see it from their point of view. I don't want to say they're being sacrificed, but, I mean, if the shoe fits, right? So they're being sacrificed inside this forest over here. We have the GAZs with troops coming down. Viet Cong have established a front line. The one thing that these arrow rifles have done is they basically allowed us to hold some semblance of a front line because there was a huge breakthrough that was happening. Over here we have more rifles that are landing. Let's watch them dismount. And they're about to come under heavy fire pretty soon here, but as you can see, the kit is very accurate. Obviously there are some 1980s undertones here, but in terms of the rifles, you can see the M60s and the M16s. So they're going to go into combat. These arrow rifles are pretty good in terms of handling other infantry, and that's why you're seeing that they're doing such a great job over here. Let me see if the Viet Cong have any mortars. It looks like the Viet Cong have not set up mortars over here. We have some scout troops coming in through the forest. This is probably going to be a good move over here because what they're going to be able to do is they're going to be able to just come down and flank us. Use this ridge over here, and that's exactly what they're doing. They have another scout unit over here. They're going to use these ridge over here to basically flank us. So very good play. This right here is sort of like the Battle of Thermopylae, right? There's not really much room to flank, so do the next best thing, which is try to find the hidden goat path. That's exactly what they're doing. So they're doing it. Meanwhile, I'm here playing the US. I don't even realize it. I'm dropping off troops. You know, we have them just like the movie We Were Soldiers. We're dropping off troops over here. But I don't even realize that they're about to flank me. So this is going to be pretty good if they can pull that off. Over here, we got a huge engagement over here. The military police are moving up. Now we got machine guns. M60s over here are putting out some lead. M60s very helpful against infantry. So they're going to be shredding these infantry pretty quickly. We got more Cobras over here in support. Cobras are absolutely effective in this situation because they can shred infantry. Cobras are not that good against vehicles, but they can definitely shred infantry. And we got artillery coming down over here, destroying their positions. We should see more air power as well. I did give the Vietcong MiG-21s, and let's see if we can spot a MiG-21. No, not yet. But we got more napalm coming down. These strikes are going to be absolutely devastating. Looks like they're not prepared for it. Strikes are coming down, and yep, there we go. That was devastating. And we got another napalm strike that looks like they missed. So that wasn't kind of a waste over there. But the napalm is going to be great. Also, look at this. Napalm creates a wall of fire that the enemy infantry can't go through. So what this does is this completely just destroys their attack. Over here, we do have the flanking maneuver coming in. Looks like I do not suspect this at all. And it looks like they may even be going for my supply and my artillery. This is not going to be a good move. One thing is, my ally has an M60 moving through. So the M60 himself might be a huge game changer if he can actually just stay there. But look, they have this flanking force. While they're flanking, let's check the main front line over here. Over here, we have the military police are moving up. Here we have military police also moving up. Let's watch them engaged. Yeah, they're moving up, so that's very nice. Over here, we got more military police and some M60s putting down lead. Yeah. M60s are putting down lead. We got Cobras. They're being engaged over here. I think the Cobras may be out of ammo. So the ZSU is just going to absolutely wreck. This was very good placement, by the way. Very good placement. Very hard to see until the last moment when the helicopters are there. So good placement over here. Over here we have infantry shooting at the Cobra as well. I think the Cobra's about to go down, to be honest. The ZSU is out of ammo, unfortunately. So that's just such a big loss. We got the Cobra back here also supporting, so the Cobras may even be able to take this because the ZSU is out of ammo. Let's go back here. Let's watch our artillery come down. Yep, artillery is coming down this building. That's a good thing. We need to get this building out of the way because they're effectively using it for defense. Let's see, we've got Blackhawk coming out of here. We have the military police and the air rifles moving up together over here. Very nice. More military police moving up. So here we've stabilized the front line. We have definitely enough troops to kind of push them back. Artillery is making a huge difference over here. The Vietcong do have access to mortars, but it looks like they just didn't use it. Probably because mortars are not like that effective. Like they can help with stunning infantry, but they don't really do much else. Here we have a huge push by the US. Air rifles are also pushing as well. We're about to see a huge battle go over here. They have a decent defense, but they need to bring up more troops, to be honest, and unload some of these troops that are loaded up. So we'll see. The air rifles are pretty good troops, and we have a flank over here, so they're actually quite vulnerable with this flank. MiG-21's moving in. We got a napalm strike coming in. Napalm strike's coming down. I thought when I was playing, I thought that there was troops hidden here because I saw troops moving around, but it looks like they evacuated before that. Either way, destroying these buildings is going to be really good because once you destroy the buildings, it basically makes it like flat terrain, almost like flat terrain, where you can just kind of roll on through. Oh yeah, yep, they are. Very smart, very smart. Watch this. They are going to basically have their way. I don't even notice this. I'm just so focused on the front line that they're basically going to have their way. They're going to be able to destroy the supply. I'm not sure how the supply gets through, to be honest. We have a Vietcong assault behind enemy lines. Very smart. Very smart. And this is just great play. You don't notice it when you're in game. Let's see what they got over here. So they got 2 supply trucks over here. 3 supply trucks. We have another one coming into the kill zone. This is maybe even a command vehicle, is it? No, it's just a vehicle being sold. But this was very smart. This was great play over here. Able to just take out troops in the back. Here we see the napalm is having an effect. It basically disrupted their entire assault, and now they have to move troops back. Artillery's coming down. This artillery's doing a great job over here of softening these guys up and basically pushing them back. They're in a tough spot because with this wide open ground, this is not how the Vietcong want to play. Really what they should have done is they should have went through the forest. And what I did very intelligently is I went in the forest and I basically hid my troops here so that just to deny them the access. Because if they would have went through the forest, they probably could have overwhelmed us back here. and they could have just pushed us way out of this valley. So my troops in the forest are going to be well positioned to fight that off. Also, we have air superiority. We have no more ammo, so I should be evacuating pretty quickly over there. Let's see, MiG-21 moving back. Over here, again, I'm really trying to break them. These napalm strikes in the forest are really, really good because all those hidden troops are basically going to be forced to move somewhere else. Over here, we have the arrow rifles. Absolutely just shredding the Soviets. These arrow rifles were a lot better than I expected. And we have a Cobra putting down some lead over here. These helicopters were probably the difference, along with the artillery. They were probably the difference in the entire game. The airstrikes were good, but if you look at the artillery, like, look what's happening over here. The artillery is like stunning them to basically death. And let's see what's going on here. So we do have the ZSU-23s are crumbling, and it looks like the MVA are just crumbling over here. They don't really have the air power to match us. They don't have the artillery to match us, and they don't have the helicopters either. Because remember, at the time, really only the US and the Soviet Union fielded helicopters. Let's go back to this front over here. As you can see, we have basically a bitter struggle for the forest over here. They bunched up their troops, unfortunately. I think what could have happened is they were caught by surprise by troops in the forest, and they got stunned by artillery, and now they're just gonna get wrecked. Look at this. Look at that. That's just crazy. Mortars are coming in as well. Mortars, again, they're not gonna kill that much, but they are gonna stun. And when they stun, then your rifles can go in there and finish them off. They fought the good fight, but when you clump up like this, you're just wasting men. We got more air rifles over here. So he did take losses over here. We do need to replenish them, which I think I am bringing up some reserves back here. Military police. Over here, I did actually use military police to clean out these insurgents over here. They got a lot of kills, guys. A lot of kills. Let's look at what they got. 1 supply truck, 2 supply trucks, 3 supply trucks, 4 supply trucks, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 supply trucks, guys. That was very good. Very much so worth it for their flank maneuver. They probably killed more infantry as well. Over here, I'm, again, doing another very smart play. Really controlling the forest and the buildings is paramount, guys. You don't want to be out in the open. That's exactly what I'm doing over here. So over here, look, I have a ton of UH-60 Blackhawks. They should be Hueys, but ton of helicopters just assembling over here, and we are about to go full bore into them. Let's watch out for that. And if you look over here, helicopters are absolutely destroying. Napalm strikes coming in. I usually miss, so let's see what happens. Oh, so I did miss again. But on the flip side, I cut off their main line of supply, so they're going to be taking casualties. Over here, we have another napalm strike coming in. And I miss again, so these are some unlucky napalm strikes. Artillery is absolutely devastating over here. Oh my god, they're just taking shot after shot. The 105s, again, they don't do as much damage as one would like, but they can definitely disperse units, shell shock units, stun them. And that's what you're seeing right here. Like, look at this. Because of this, they have to stop their supply and they have to pull back. And when you cut off their supply, let's see this HE launch over here. Oh my god, wow. That was effective, guys. That was effective. And you're gonna see the UH-60s. Let's get into this, guys. Let me see if we can get a better view of the assault. Very cool, guys. Very cool. I think AA is gonna come in pretty soon here. Yep, AA is coming in and absolutely wrecking that left side. Looks like we just lost the helicopter, but we're gonna go right over them. Again, the disrespect that you have for your opponent, and the AA is taking out some helicopters, but not enough. We're gonna go right over them, and then we're just gonna land in a field, just like in the movie Heart of Darkness. Look at that, guys. Where else can you see a helicopter landing like that but Warno? So we landed back here. We are basically just destroying them. They've had to retreat back to their own base. They have a final outpost over here. And then we have the helicopters. I'm just gonna send them to their demise. We're gonna use these machine guns on the helicopters. We have a airstrike coming in. Absolutely wrecks, and we're gonna need more airstrikes, to be honest, because look at this huge clump of infantry over here. Let's see, we got another napalm strike coming in. Are we gonna hit this time? Yep, we're gonna hit. Very nice. I think I called in a little bit more air power. They should be coming in as well. We got artillery coming in as well. So they are getting absolutely wrecked. The helicopters, machine guns are doing stuff too. And what I'm doing here is I'm spreading out my infantry from the landing zone because I want them to cut off the future supplies. Let's see, we got more napalm strikes coming in. They just cannot catch a break, guys. Look at that. The F-111 HE over here. I think he's probably going to get wrecked. We got another F-111 HE. These F-111 HEs are probably the best bombers in the game because look at how much ordnance they drop. Look at this, guys. That's insane, guys. They can level a whole strip of land right there. So they're probably some of the best bombers in the game. We got more napalm coming down on them. Absolutely devastating. We got a Phantom also fighting. Over here, it's been just non-stop bitter fighting. They've been trying to push through this forest for the longest, but it's really not going to happen because, like, if you look over here, I have tons of military police and arrow rifles just set up waiting for them, and more reinforcements back here, which I still need to unload. Blackhawks are still alive. I am not even sure what's going on here. I think their AA is out of ammo. Yep, their AA is out of ammo because I had so many Blackhawks. Artillery strikes are coming down. We have my assault to the forest. These guys are getting wrecked out here. Yeah, they're getting wrecked. We got a napalm strike. Successfully just came down. Yep. Very nice. This battle played out a lot like, I guess you could say, like a Vietnam era battle would play. I mean, obviously it's a game, but it did play out the same way, which is like the US used air power and artillery to their advantage to basically fight off the Vietcong. And the Vietcong really couldn't respond back. So beside their like guerrilla tactics, it was like, if you look right here, they're trying to more guerrilla tactics. They're trying to move some of these guys to the forest. Beside the guerrilla tactics, really militarily, the Vietcong actually did not have that much success. These ZSU-23s, they're not the best, to be honest. Let me zoom in on them. They're basically, you know what I mean, like a cannon. You'll see this in Afghanistan a lot. They're basically, you know, these two 23mm cannons next to each other as he gets wrecked. And we got more napalm coming in, absolutely wrecking the buildings. Let me see if I can find another ZSU-23. So again, there's these two 23mm cannons right next to each other. But they're not necessarily anything special. They're an A. But what they are good at is they're so cheap that you can buy like 10 of these, right? Because they're 40 a piece. You can buy 10 of these and create an anti-aircraft umbrella with just how cheap they are. They are just so cheap, guys. So let's go back to the stalemate over here. We had an air battle unfold where I think the MiG-21 came out on top. They just had more, and we're gonna see that this is gonna be game here pretty soon as we wipe off the last of the troops. So we'll end it here. We end up with the win on the US side. It was a very fun game to play just to see the difference during the Vietnam era between the Viet Cong and the US and how they fight. And it was very action-packed, and I like playing the match. So thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for these future epic battles. And let me know in the comments what other epic battle scenarios do you want to see that happen during the Cold War.